Are you trying to get better on social media? Yes or no? Ultimately, if you have a business and people don't know how and where to find you, you are not going to grow. My guest today is Mr. Gagan Timsina, and he lays out the complete blueprint on how he grew his social media presence from 0 to over 10,000 followers in less than 6 weeks. This is a no fluff conversation with Gagan, and I'm telling you, you are in for a treat. If you have no earthly idea on how and where to start growing your presence on social media as a real estate professional, you are going to get tons of value from this conversation. And if you are not aligned here at Real Brokers, did you know that Gagan, in addition to myself, can be your co-sponsors and your business partners in this process? So book a call at the link below if you've learned a lot from today's conversation and you want to take things to the next level in your business. I'm super excited for this. Gagan is a good buddy of mine, and he has been so gracious to jump on today's conversation to lay the blueprint on how to grow on social media in 2025. Enjoy. You may be like me and say, hey, I'm on social media. I need to get $1,000 bottle of water. This isn't the Saratoga water for the guy that went viral, and I got to dip my face in some ice, and that's how I'm going to build a business. That worked for that individual. That was lightning in a bottle. So today we're talking what's actually strategically going to work in your business. So Mr. Gagan Timsina is my agent partner. So if you get value from this conversation today and want to talk about alignment, please let us know in the comments below and we'll facilitate. But without further ado, Mr. Gagan Timsina, take it away, brother.
What's up, guys? Oh, man, I'm so grateful to be here. Marv, thanks for having me. Guys, Marv's full name is Marvin, but he's considered my unk. For those of you that don't know what that means, that's short for uncle. So making sure all of you guys understand the urban lingo there. First and foremost, all of you are much more attractive than myself. And I also hate talking at a camera, so I need you guys to turn your camera on. If Rick and Brad can do it, and I can do it, you guys can turn your cameras on. All right, guys? Please, for the life of me, I need that. Oh, man. But here's what I want to talk to you guys about. I'll share my screen as we actually start going into it. This is going to be super impactful, but it's also going to be super fast. You're most likely going to need to look at the recording over and over, at least to compose and really digest everything to the fullest nth degree. So if we talk about a few things, one of the biggest, I guess, populational aspect for one of the big things that's really working in today's society is social media. If you look at anyone's phone time, what's happening is 4 to 5 hours of their phone time is on social media. But the big caveat is most agents produce social media content in a way in which it's not attracting the right client, but they think that they're going to talk about the correct stuff. Right? We talk about home inspections, but realistically what happens is someone buys a house and then they look at home inspection, right? We talk about all these things that are going to happen from the lending process, from the closing, title, the whole shebang. But what really we need to talk about is everything that happens before it. So we're going to get started right away. Pen, pencil, whatever you're going to use to actually take down notes. This is here for you. And if you need the slides, just ask me for it. We'll give it away. Social population. That's what I want to talk about. Let's address everything that we can address, take that and synthesize that within the world of real estate. So I like to say this phrase, I've stole this from Juan Alcala, build your top and it will build its bottom. Build your top and it will build its bottom. And what does that mean? Well, when you think about Zillow leads, when you think about Realtor.com leads, when you think about any of those leads, what's the one thing that all of them have? A cost associated with it, right? If you guys have bought Zillow leads, put a 1 in the chat. But the one thing that we know is they're $500, $600, $700, $800 a piece, and they get more and more expensive. And the conversion rate on Zillow leads is less than 2 to 3%. So you're spending north of $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 just to get 1 to 2 leads that could potentially sell. Versus when you build your own top, and you let the top focus on everything that's synergetic with the marketplace, what happens is you then funnel those people or you incubate those people downwards eventually into a real estate cycle. Here's what that looks like. My name is Gagan Timsina. I built the Columbus report just north about 6-7 weeks ago. And in that time frame, I've gotten about 11,000 followers. In the last 30 days, about 1.5 million views. And what that really means and what that transits to is buyers. I've gotten 6 buyers, and I wanted to put this here because the highest price point buyer that I've gotten thus far is $10 million. Can you put a 2 in the chat if you'd be willing to spend 6 weeks to get a $10 million buyer? If I don't see 42s, you guys are going to feel my wrath from Rochester, New York. And that's the other caveat. Right now, I'm doing this in Rochester, New York. My mom got hit by a car. And because of that, I really can't be back home. I can't do a bunch of these things that I really want to do in Columbus. I have to be here to take care of her. She doesn't speak English. My dad doesn't speak English, so I'm their interpreter. We're taking care of finances, the whole shebang. Don't feel bad for me, but that's just the situation that I'm in right now. And even with that being said, and this grew this much, and in the next 30 minutes, if you pay attention and if you just give me your time, I promise you it'll be the most valuable 30 minutes of your life. Here's what we're going to talk about. Guys, write this down. DRI. DRI. Do something, review something, and improve something. Do something, review something, and improve something. And that's the motto for all of this, because this is going to suck for a little bit. Right? Brad Armstrong, he's on this call. He went 150 days posting every single day. I can promise you, without asking Bradley here, there were days that he didn't want to post, right, Brad? But at the same time, he still did something. He revised upon those things and then he improved them. And that's why he's at almost 27,000 followers in less than 6 months. Do something, review something, improve something. So what do we actually do, and what's the content that we post? Well, here's my whole idea and iteration process behind everything that I did. Very, very simply, and I'm going to go over this super fast. I posted 6 times a day. I focused on just reels. I talked about everything in my market, from new construction, bars, developments, restaurants. I narrowed my niche after figuring out what topics actually worked, and then I hyper localized to the highest price point areas. Remember, when you're building content, they don't know who you are, so you can be anyone. Who is to say that Marvin cannot choose the highest price point area in Atlanta and go after them? Who is to say Corey can't choose the highest price point market in his market and talk about those things? There's no rules around it. Do not let the limiting belief that you have stop you from making more money. Next, I boosted only the reels that did well organically. Same content, just pushing it a little bit further. I repurposed those top reels into still image posts. I drove all the attention into my newsletter using a comment me, comment report. I ran weekly giveaways inside the newsletter to drive replies and engagement. And then I used the newsletter to build trust and prepare for higher level conversations and higher level plays. All right, I don't know about you guys, but that was a lot. And if I wasn't the one speaking, I'd be like, holy crap, Whitney, I'll answer all the questions at the end of it. Let me just get through this. That's a lot. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy. But what I am going to sit here and say is we will develop a process within the next 10 to 15 slides where you can take care of this within the next 30 days, at the same time only spending between an hour and a half to 2 hours, if that's okay with you. And if you can spend 2 hours on your business, put a 3 in the chat. And once I see that 3, I'll move on to the next slide, because this is where stuff actually starts getting fun. Awesome. Okay, Michael, Marvin, putting 3s in the slides. Rick, Corey. We've also got Mike Ugarte. We've got Summer from Columbus. Whitney. Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm going to go to my next slide here. Guys, here's the topics that we talk about. If you get nothing out of this call, just take a screenshot of this. Just take this photo and you're done. Zippity do that. We're good to go. If you get nothing out of this call, just take this photo and you're good to go. Bye-bye. Overview and aesthetics. What does that mean? That means we're going to talk about the beautification of our market. When I moved to Northern Idaho, I didn't know anything about it. But here's the most beautiful lakes. Here's the best ski opportunities. Take a video with your kids going out and eating hot dogs and enjoying the aesthetic of the market. Then we're going to do locational things. We're going to talk about everything that's happening in the location. We're actually going to show the place so people can feel like, hey, I'm a part of this. That's why, in a big pro tip for videos is when you're vlogging or when you're making YouTube videos, go vlog in the marketplace. So then they actually see what you're talking about in the back end. And then we talk about food. Everyone loves food. And right now we're going to address an entire marketplace. We're going to attack and talk about the food that's happening there. As we hyper niche this down, we'll then talk about developments. This is a big jump right here, and you will see yourself losing followers. You'll see yourself losing likes, not get as many views, but that's okay, because the people that want to hear and learn about the development are the same people that we want to serve for real estate. Does everyone get that so far? Does that make sense? Awesome. Let's talk about it. Where are you getting your news? Where do you actually get the information to talk about? This is the silliest shit that you'll ever hear. I look up Columbus news every single day. Brad looks up Columbus news every single day. Mike looks up Columbus news every single day. Well, no, they don't actually. He looks up Phoenix news and Mike looks up Miami news. This right here is your topic for the day. This right here is the topic. What we do then is we press more news. So this is the button right here. And it talks about everything that's happening. Don't overcomplicate this. You don't need to buy subscriptions. You don't need ChatGPT 4.0. You don't need to hire out for the process. Not yet anyways. All you have to do is look up your market news and press it. And in the next slide, I'll show you something even cooler. If you don't have topics to talk about, all we do is look up Columbus, Ohio, ranks. Atlanta, Georgia, ranks. Tampa, Florida, ranks. Scottsdale, Arizona, ranks. Fort Worth, Texas, ranks. I was having a conversation with Brad yesterday, and I sent him a screenshot of probably 15 still images posts that I got from just this last night. Now, am I a loser for building this out of 1030? Maybe. But at the same time, I got 15 posts and you don't, right? So think about that. Food for thought. Columbus, Ohio ranks as number 1. And then Columbus news is the second topic that we're going to talk about. Everything that I've discussed so far is simple. It's not convoluted, guys. And here's the thing. You're seeing this and you're like, oh, dude, how many of these posts can actually come to be? Well, what if I told you I made 6 of my highest performing still images just from that topic alone? Now, I want you to put it in the chat. How long do you think it takes to create an image? Give me a time frame. Marv, Rick, Corey, how long do you guys think it takes to make an image while I sip on my coffee?
A minute.
20 seconds, Michael? Dude, you must think like, oh man, I wish. 20 seconds is nuts. Rick, how long do you think it takes me to make a post?
The whole post? I don't know. I'm gonna guess you 10 minutes.
Wow, I love the tonality on the you. You guys heard that? You. That's crazy.
Me, like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I agree. No, I'm just kidding, guys. It takes me 10 minutes. It takes me 10 minutes to make a post and upload that post. And now we've got this built out with our own SOP or systems and processes. So our virtual assistant can make these at a whim. They can make this in less than 5 minutes. And they keep adding these more and more and more and more. For the first 90 days, I posted 6 times. I can't do that by myself. I'm going to go through withdrawal. I'm going to go through struggles. That's why you need people to actually help you do this. And I'll show you exactly where we hire the best virtual assistants from for less than $5 an hour. So ultimately, you can actually make this work. These images work really, really well. Now, the second thing, right? You're probably wondering, oh my gosh, God, what about the captions? What do I actually say? What's everything else that's coming with it? Well, here's the thing. I want you to take a photo of this because we don't have too much time. We can't dissect this too heavily. I want you to take a photo of this and I want you to implement the caption and I want you to implement everything that the news article talks about and put it right here. What this prompt will do is it will actually turn that into a caption. And then you read that caption verbatim, or you put your little twist into it, do whatever that you want to do. But these prompts will save you tons of time. Remember, AI will not take over your job, but the agent that uses AI will. You've heard that countless times, but it is time to start utilizing it. If you're in some kind of middle ground where you're like, oh, I don't know if I should use ChatGPT. Is it for me? Is it not for me? This is me telling you that someone that is using ChatGPT will take your job. It's up to you to decide when you're actually going to start using it. And I say, start using it as soon as this call ends. Take this prompt and screenshot it. Now, the second thing, right? Some of my highest performing prompts, some of my highest performing images, all of those things have to do with 3 massive things. Now, I showed you those still images from ranks and the whole shebang, but here, number 1 is development, right? The Ohio Department of Transit unveils a $2 billion plan to transform U.S. Route 23. This got north of, I think, 70,000. 80,000 views. Central Ohio's top homes for sale, and also new nonstop flights are coming to Columbus. Why do you think these do so well? Well, people want to hear about these things. One of the biggest issues that's happening right now in terms of infrastructural opportunity is most major metros. They have too many people. Highways are congested. So when you're talking about things that are actually pertinent to the individual, they're going to care. Number 2, when you talk about the top homes for sale, number 1, you're attracting a certain specific idea of a client. And then number 2, most people care. They're going to wonder, oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful home in Columbus. Oh my gosh, I want to know the highest price point home. All those things. Number 3 is flights. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the fact that people want to leave Columbus or something, but everyone loves flights. In fact, I encourage you to make this post as your next post and see how well it does. This post and this post right here, you need blank to live comfortably in Columbus. You should absolutely make. Hey, Brad, can you unmute for a second? your post of Phoenix, you need blank to live in Phoenix. How many views is it at right now? We put him on the spot here, guys.
Where are you? That's too much. Hold on.
We put him on the spot.
Let's see. It is currently at 708,000.
708,000 views. If you're not copying this post and completely R&Ding it, then you are nuts. And real quick, I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I want to talk to you about this. You're probably wondering, well, Gagan, what's the point of making these things? How is this going to help me sell real estate? I'm going to talk about that in a second, but here's the thing. What do you think is the number one thing that people are looking for in the agent they choose? Put it in the chat what you think the number one thing is. It marketing? Is it expertise? It's something else. What's the number one thing? Because I promise you, it's simpler than you think. Thanks, Brad. Local knowledge. Great. Corey, what were you going to say?
Most people, they just want to know how much they can spend or buy.
Yeah, so like expertise within the ecosystem, right? Marvin hit it right on the bat. So a local study shows that 97% of consumers care about local knowledge and being the local market expert as the number one thing in their agent. What do you think is happening when you're talking about food and development and locations and everything else? You're building yourself. You're building a personal brand as the market expert. You're building a top of funnel that will eventually churn itself into the bottom of funnel. Guys, we're building a media company that can sell real estate, but also can sell any and everything else. How cool is that? It's not just about selling homes. It's about becoming the digital mayor of your location. We talked about this. We talked about that. You guys with me so far? Put a 1 in the chat if everyone understands where we're at, because the next thing that we're going to get to is a little bit high level, but I think all of you can do it. 1, perfect. Michael, perfect. Rick, you've been quiet. That's usually not the case. Guys, I'm joking. I love Rick. That's my dog. Okay, cool. So you're probably wondering, awesome, Summer, Suga, let's go, guys. Woo! Love it. I love this. Okay, you're probably wondering, well, Gagan, where are you taking these people from? If you have these people on Instagram, what is the next incubator? What's the next funnel? What's the next process? My uncle, Sharon Shrivastava, he's not actually my uncle. He's actually texted me about this, not to say it, but it's okay. My uncle, Sharon Shrivastava, has a simple phrase. Bam, fam. Book a meeting from a meeting. Bam, fam. Book a meeting from a meeting. So how are we going to get this meeting? Well, we have a very simple mini chat automation. At the end of all of my posts, and you can go and watch it. At the end of my posts, I have a very simple slogan. And hey, listen, if you want to stay up to date with everything that's happening in Columbus, just comment the word report and we'll send it over. And if you want to stay up to date with everything that's happening in Atlanta, just comment the word report and we'll send it over. That's it. That's my CTA. I have, if you want to see, 1,100 newsletter subscribers. This happened in the last 3 weeks. People are listening to you. People are caring about what you have to say. So what happens is they comment the word report. ManyChat then takes them into the DMs where it says, hey, you wanted the report, click yes. They'll click yes. If they don't click yes, I simply have this wait 30 minutes and I just send them a freaking question mark. That's all I do. Question mark. Because remember, you want to treat this the same way that you're texting a friend. You send them a question mark, and then if they reply, they go back into the system, and then you get their email. If they do say yes, if they do press it, then what happens is you get their email here, and you say, awesome, we will be sending you an email shortly. Did you get it? And this part is the most important part. Rick, why is this the most important part? He was not prepared.
I'm assuming that you have an opt-in on that. Did I get it?
Exactly. Because when someone replies to the email, it tells the email gods that your emails are legit, right? When someone is responding to your email, what this is telling the server and Google is, hey, put this on the news feed, put this in front of people. Don't send this to promotion, don't send this to updates, and don't send this to spam because people are actually replying. So when we have this here and hey, did you get it? They're going to go check their email and then they're going to reply. They're going to get into the ecosystem. And the last thing that we have here, and we'll talk about this in a second, is I send them to my YouTube video. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, why are you sending them to your YouTube video? That's going to mess with the algorithm, the whole thing. Number one, stop crying. Number two, I hope that's not how you actually sound. And number three, the reason I do it is because a lot of my YouTube content will now be focused on new construction. It's going to be focused on the home tour. It's going to be focused on the actual ecosystem and the idiosyncrasies behind Columbus. If I can have the local people watching it, they're on my Instagram, they're seeing that I know what I'm talking about. They get sent my newsletter and they're on my YouTube and then later on my Facebook groups. Who else are they working with? No one. This system works when you decide to work. So next thing, we talked about newsletters. We talked about everything else, but how do you actually set this up, right? One of the biggest questions that my coaching clients ask me, I have 30 clients that we're working with here and there on and off. About 7 of them in the last 2 weeks since they've started this strategy have said, listen, I have such an inbound of emails, but I don't know what to do and I can't keep manually adding it to Beehive. Here's the system. We go to make.com. Write this down, M-A-K-E, make.com. It is an API integration software. And what that means is most of you have heard of Zapier. Put a 1 in the chat if you have heard of Zapier. If no one puts a 1, I'll have to explain it. But if you know what it is, it'll save us time. Cool. Let me explain it for like 10 seconds. What Zapier essentially does is take data from one location and implements it into another one. Essentially, one of the big things that has to happen when people are giving emails is that email has to transit from where you are giving it to where you ultimately want it to receive. Hey, comment the word report and we'll send you our 5 tips for buying a house. Well, you know how you immediately get the report once you comment it? The people have a Make or a Zapier integration to it, and that's why it's set up. It's very simple, guys. What we're going to do is we're going to go ManyChat to Beehive. You built out the webhook, and then the connection is just my Beehive connection. You want the subscriber for their email. You send a welcome email, and that's it. Do not overcomplicate the funnel. Do not overcomplicate the integrations. Don't overcomplicate the entire process because you don't need to. We're not building SaaS. We're not building software. We're not building anything. All we want to do is send email from point A to point B. That's it. Cool. Now that we know that we've got this built out, now that we know that our Instagram is working, we're going to post 5-6 times a day. We're going to have Marvin hold us hostage, accountable, whatever word you want to use. I love when Marvin laughs, man. It makes me smile. Now that we've got this built out, where are we taking them? Where's the transit happening? Guys, we're taking them to our emails. In the last 3 weeks, if you look right here, I've garnered over 1,126 active email subscribers. And I'm going to show you a strategy that no one is doing. I'm going to show you a strategy that not a single person in the real estate marketplace has implemented. And the only reason that I know that no one has implemented it is because Brad texted me. He said, I've never seen anyone do this. The strategy is very, very, very simple. We're going to take these and we're going to run them as Facebook ads. Guys, we are going to run the retargeting, the people that are seeing us on Instagram as Facebook ads. The audience is any and everyone that has seen us on Instagram. I want you to copy this exact image, screenshot it, take a photo of it, change the words to your market, change the image to your market, and let this shit rip. I am getting leads at 33 cents right now. My buddy in Winnipeg is getting leads at 45 cents right now. Anyone that's doing in Rochester is getting leads at 75 cents right now. This, for whatever godforsaken reason, just works. So if you're going to build out an email, I'm going to show you why email is so powerful in a second. This is all you need to do. This is all you need to build. And then the audience, anyone that's engaged with our Instagram account for the last 30 days. Everyone with me so far? We built out this image. This is the exact text. Like, guys, I can't make this any simpler for you. This is the exact text. And our audience is anyone that's seen our Instagram within the last 30 days. That's it. Now, next, you're going to be asking me, oh, but Gagan, what about every other kind of post? Gagan, how do I set up even better primary text? Let me start revamping all these things. I know how you think. So I've built that out for you already here. We don't have time for me to digest everything. All I want you to do is take a screenshot and then you can utilize it yourself. What the purpose of this messaging's purpose is very, very simply to have a secondary guide on top of the newsletter. You use this to build out the actual copy within the ads. This is how you do it. Screenshot this, write it, and then one of the kickers for AI is I don't care how good the first thing that AI sends me. I will always say, that's good, but do better. You are better than this, and I believe in you. Make it more compelling, and perfect. I don't care how good this is. I never care. In fact, I very rarely look at the first thing because I know the second time it'll always be better. I don't know why that's the case. But this is right here, the bread and butter. This is the $1 million maker. So now that we've got the prompts, now that we've got the newsletter, we've got the subscriber, the next logical question is what? Seeing what's the next logical question with our subscribers?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. So now that we have email subscribers, what do we do with them?
Figure out if they have any motivation to move.
Yeah, but we send them emails, right?
Yeah, send them emails,
Yeah.
and then
So
have your call to actions in there to move them along.
bang, there she goes. Oh my gosh, she's on fire. 2 for 2 today. Guys, we're going to send them emails, and then we're going to have CTAs right here. Now, I'm going to give you something that most real estate coaches won't give you. In fact, I probably coach your coach. Here's what they're not going to give you. They're not going to give you the exact blueprint for it. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to the Columbus report. I want you to take any of these. I want you to screenshot, or I want you to copy and paste all of this into Claude.ai. And then what you're going to tell Claude to do is this. I want you to synthesize this information and give me a framework for it. The next prompt that I will give you is to implement the framework in my market. My market is blank. This is a $100,000 prompt right here. I want you to synthesize this information and give me a framework for it. The next prompt I will give you is to implement the framework in my market. My market is blank. You don't say blank, say your market. Tampa, Atlanta, I forgot where, Gulf Shores, right? And then you give this stuff here, and then guess what? It will synthesize the information for you. And then you say, great, now write this exact same thing for Gulf Shore, Alabama. Now write the exact same thing for Pembroke Pines. Once that's built out, guys, here's the other thing. Once that built, and I'll show you exactly I'll show you everything on my newsletter in a second. Once that's built out, we then have CTAs. Christian is 100% correct. We need to make sure they know that this is a real estate email. So what does that look like? Hey, looking for a new construction home in one of the area's most distinctive communities? Evans Farm offers a unique blend of small town charm with modern amenities. Let's connect and see if a home there is a possibility for you. Press here to schedule a call with one of our real estate partners. That's it, guys. Like, that's a CTA. And I'm going to give you something that my buddy Ken Pozak does, which is even better. He sends them directly to his YouTube video. Brought to you by Ken Pozak, the Orlando Reel. Orlando's population booms. Here's a surprising shift. Watch the video here. People are going to say, oh, don't transit them there. Why is that the case? It's the exact same audience, right? If we have people's emails, if we have them on Instagram, and then they're then getting sent directly to your YouTube video, it's game, set, match. And there's no agent in your market that's doing this, I guarantee you. So now that we've got this built out, we've got the newsletter built out, and everyone's with me so far in the newsletter, right? Put a 2 in the chat if you understand what to do with the newsletter, how to write it, how to synthesize it, how to collect data for it. Michael understands. Awesome. Just Michael? That's crazy. Sagan understands. Rick understands. Okay, perfect. So now that we have the newsletter here, what's next? Well, it's very, very simple, right? YouTube. We talked about YouTube the entire time. YouTube is the bread and butter. I want you to think about posts like this. Vertical posts draw attention. Horizontal posts draw belief. Vertical posts draw attention. Horizontal posts draw belief. If you look here, I've only garnered 8.2 thousand views in the last 90 days in my Columbus channel. Thanks, Marv. I just thought about it on the spot, man. I'm free balling here. This only has 8.2 thousand views, but it has over 658 hours of watch time. I don't have this much on my Instagram. If someone is with you for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, imagine the reciprocity that they have, and then imagine the connection that they have as well. So here's the most important parts of making YouTube videos. Number one is thumbnails. And one of the masters of thumbnails that I know here is Brad. If you guys want to connect, obviously connect with him. But these thumbnails will garner attention. They're the first thing that people see. You want to make sure that you have good thumbnails, right? Like, it just makes sense. Number two, here's the topics that we're going to talk about. Number one is developments. Anything that's happening in the market, downtown revitalization, major infrastructure improvements, relocation-focused topics, secondarily, right? Why people are moving to Columbus, side videos, side-by-side comparisons with states like California, Florida, real talk content, transparent videos that highlights the challenges of moving or living to Columbus. If you look right here, my third highest performing video this week is 5 reasons to avoid moving to Columbus, Ohio in 2025. Negative hooks just sell. Then it's suburban highlights, content exploring Columbus's suburb. Well, Dublin, Howell, New Albany. Guys, this is another transit TAM or total addressable market that we have here on top of the entire funnel. Like, guys, we are addressing an entire marketplace with development. Then we're going to talk about people living here, by people moving here, all those things. And then we're going to talk about suburbs and real estate. If you look right here, you can see this is the exact same scenario. Number one, performing videos, everything new are coming soon to Columbus in 2025. Number two, performing video, watch these 20 minutes if you want to know the truth about living here. 5 reasons to avoid living in Columbus, Ohio. People are fleeing these Ohio cities. Where do Columbus's ultra wealthy live, and massive changes coming to Columbus, Ohio in 2025. Guys, you're funneling people into YouTube, and then the YouTube is funneling people into real estate. Like, I swear to you, there's no one doing this in your market. And they're not doing it because I want to give you proof of concept in just 1 second. This is the topics that we're going to talk about. Take a screenshot, take a photo. Guys, the second thing that we have to focus on is hooks. Let me know if you can hear my audio here or not. Marv, are we good to go? Can you hear it?
Why is Columbus defying national real estate market trends? Which neighborhoods are actually hot? What's your code? And most importantly, should you buy or sell in this market? Let's break it down right now. Roll the intro.
Music shows me, just know this and know me. I did know this.
Listen, if you've been watching national real estate news, you're probably expecting all real estate markets cool down. But here,
Yeah, I understand. There's always going to be some issue with connection, especially with your videos. Marv and I have the exact same problem every single time that I coach. Sorry, sucks to suck. But I want you guys to understand something here. In this video, we are already at the point where you are watching the actual audience happen, and we're transiting from the intro to the actual topic at hand in less than 15 seconds, because that is people's attention span.
why is Columbus defying national real estate?
Right here, it's 15 seconds and we're already transiting into the topic at hand. So the purpose of this 30-second smooth sailing video was supposed to be to show you that you need to get to the point as soon as possible. If you post these videos, and don't do the Instagram, don't do the newsletter, but post these videos every single month, you will have real estate clients in the next 30 to 90 days. I don't live in Columbus right now because of my mom. I got a $10 million buyer that we just sent a letter of intent for. Anybody can do this. So next up, you're probably wondering, well, listen, Gagan, like I don't have time to go out and find footage. I don't have time to go out and find a sound. I'm not as good looking as you, which is not true. Most of you are just as good looking as me. I'll let you ponder that for a second. Where do you get that information from? I love Amanda laughing. Thanks, Amanda. I love watching you smile. Envato. ENVATO. And I want to make this even simpler for you. For the people that are on this call that are actually paying attention, those of you that want Envato footage, I want you to find the footage and text that to me. Send me an Instagram DM, and I will have my assistant give you that footage. That way, you're not paying for the subscription, but you also have no excuse. Envato, ENVATO. Take a screenshot. This has been the greatest investment of my life. I can't physically go to Columbus. This has saved me on so many videos. Where do you get the clients? Where do you get the people to actually produce? Where do you get the people that are going to be doing the work for you? Well, listen, number one is Facebook groups. And number two is onlinejobs.ph. Most of you have heard about these. The things about onlinejobs.ph is these people can charge anywhere from $10 to $15, the quality being much better. These guys charge $4 to $5. But you're going to have to deal a lot more with it. So what I would recommend that you do is you hire a virtual assistant to find you virtual assistants. This is a next level shit right here, guys. This is what a $100 million producing team does. Like, this is how we synthesize with them. We have a virtual assistant that understands everything that the team needs. And her entire job is to find ISAs, video editors, graphic designers, and people that will work for her. She lives in the market. And then once or twice a month, we simply pay for a coffee where all these guys get together. Can you guess how high the attrition rate is? It's almost zero. The same people have been working for the same team over a year. Now, if you don't have the budget for it, I understand. You're only going to have time or money. And in this case, if you're hiring virtual assistants, just understand that you're going to have to spend a little bit more time scrutinizing the work, but it will pay off in the long run. Guys, There's so much involved, right? How much of this that you actually have to do? Ads, VAs, CTAs, hooks, funnels, systems, operations, lead magnets. Most of you are asking, oh my gosh, Gagan, can you just do this for me? Can you just do it for us? And the answer is yes. We have a coaching program where it's done with you to make this process as seamless as possible. But here's the thing. I don't want you to pay me. Like, I don't want you to pay me. Like, don't pay me. What I want you to do is get partnerships and accountability with the people on this call. I want you to find someone and work with them and do it that way. Don't pay me the $6,000 that I'm going to charge you. Work with someone on this call to build this out. And then once you start generating clients, that's when you hit me up and that's when we work together. But guys, that's all I got today. That's the entire system. That's how you address the entire marketplace. My name is Grayson. I appreciate all of you being on. I've got 15 minutes for questions. I hope that was helpful.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Feel free to come off mute if you have any questions for Gagan. Super powerful, man. Super powerful stuff there that you mentioned. And how did you? My question, I guess, and put your hands up if you want to ask a question in the chat here. How did you find the virtual assistant that you used to help you find virtual assistants? Was it trial and error? Was it someone that was referred to you? How did you make that arrangement?
Yeah, so I had a VA that was working with my old EXP company for a really long time, and then she got fired by that EXP company because they weren't making any money. So she was like, "Hey, I need a job." And what happens is I was like, "Hey, cool, yeah, I could use you for this thing." She became my general VA, and then overall she knew all these people. So I guess it was luck of the trade, luck of the draw.
And what are some questions that we should ask a VA, to help, vet the good ones from the ones that probably are not going to be a good experience?
Absolutely. Great question. One of the biggest questions that we get asked is, hey, what in your personal life will prevent you from doing your job, right? What in your personal life will prevent you from doing your job? Because what you'll come to realize is a lot of the VAs that work, number one, are women, and number two, are women with children without fathers, right? So their children will become their number one priority. And most of the time, in fact, when she does want to work or we can't hear from her, it's because her son's sick. So, but when we understand those things, we can say, okay, cool. Chloe's son's probably sick, and that's why we're not hearing from her. Because as real estate agents, we want shit right now, right? And then it's like, oh, damn, I'm paying this lady. How come she's not working? So understanding the personal thing, it's the most powerful thing.
Yeah, I love that. And I find with a lot of them, you have to really, truly spell things out. And it's as you mentioned earlier, Gagan, about creating those SOPs. And for those that don't know, that means standard operating procedures. You know the things in your day that help you get things done a lot faster. And you know the things in your day that are distractions and are not income producing activities, right? So I think once we crystallize those things that are the most important aspects of our day that we could do it, but someone else technically could do it if we show them the way we want them to do it like us, that will help the virtual assistant relationship be a lot stronger because they'll do whatever you tell them. But I find that if you really spell things out, they will ask questions, you can ask questions, and then you all will come to a greater understanding of how they can best serve you. So I think that's powerful.
I'll say this. There is no bad employee. You're just a bad leader, right? Like you're just a bad leader. Like if they don't feel comfortable enough asking you or they feel threatened by you, you're a bad leader. And if you can't tell them what to do, if you can't tell another human being, hey, I need X, Y, and Z from you, you're a bad leader. So a lot of the things when it comes down to, especially when you say, oh, my VA sucks or this, no, dude, you just suck. You suck at giving explanations. You suck at giving help. You suck at explaining what you need. So instead of looking at VAs like, hey, I need this and that, look inside yourself and be like, what can I say that will get my 2 to 3-year-old daughter to build this out? How can I make it so simple that someone in 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade can build this out? And once you've got that settled, you just pop it up and rip it away.
And I want to go back to the social media posting. Now, Gagan, many of us have existing social media accounts. Do you recommend starting from zero and just building a thing out, or taking our existing page and then implementing the steps that you mentioned? What would be the best way to get on the algorithm?
Yeah, so I have two different approaches with this, and one of the people that I hope they don't mind what I'm going to say on the call, they're here. If you happen to be blasphemed by a company that says they're going to get you leads or they're going to do this and that, and they're going to grow your social media followings, and you have 50,000, 60,000 followers, but you're only getting 100, 200 views, I would recommend just starting over fresh. Now, if you have a good enough audience as it is, what's going to happen oftentimes is your new post will actually lose a lot of followers and it's going to lose a lot of views. And that's because when people are posting or when people are watching you post, oftentimes it's because they're posting you because you're you. It's because they want to support you, not because they want to support the product or the service, right? So when you start posting 3 to 4 times a day about updates about what's happening in your marketplace, oftentimes you will notice a small curvature dip in viewership, in following, in comments, everything before the algorithm realizes, hey, this isn't the people that I want to send this to. This is, and then it's gonna start skyrocketing.
Love that. Love that. Someone asked,
Um,
go ahead, Rick.
I just had a follow up on that. I wanted to ask. So if somebody's got got their social media channel and it's been tainted, and you start up a new one, my thought was, should you repost from your new one from your old one, or is that going to taint it also?
I won't taint. I mean, I just say post what you want to post, right? Like most of the topic at hand that we have here is talking about a market center, right? Like we're posting about a specific market. So if you want to show the nature behind the market, go ahead. If you want to have some personal aspects of it, go ahead as well. But most of the content that you have are going to be day-to-day specifically driven, and it's going to be new content that's happening now. So it's really not going to be like, oh shit, like here's my dog from 4 years ago.
And,
Yeah, I
and,
just didn't know if, like, the people that are following you on your old channel, if they're gonna see that post and then click over, or if you need to actually physically, individually invite them, or there's gonna be people there that you want to bring over. I just was trying to figure out what the fastest way to do that.
I would do stories, personally speaking, because stories are the most engaged people on my page. Oftentimes, I won't see someone like a picture, but I'll see them in my stories. And so I find that the primary page, let's say your Instagram, should be, and Gagan, you can let me know if you agree,
Yeah.
that should be very consistent on the content that you post. So let's say you're trying to get people over to your new page, for example, Rick. I would put in my stories, want to learn more about, whatever your market is, follow me here with a link to that. And those that are interested in that anyway, they're going to click, in addition to anyone else, because you can send stories to other people now. You can share stories.
Yeah.
So those individuals that are engaged with what's going on locally, they'll send it to their buddies through the stories. And that's how I think you could do that and
Yeah.
not mess up your algorithm too much worse.
I'll say, yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I would do, Rick. To answer the question in the chat, which is how much what's monthly fees with VAs? Generally, you can hire some kind of tracking system, like maybe a Discord where they're on 8 hours a day and you can actually legitimately see their screen. If you give them specific tasks, then that task is how that's going to work around the VA. For the most part, we hire them on an hour-to-hour basis, or if they're designing some graphics for us for Instagram, it's $3 a post.
Not bad. That's not bad at all.
I'll say this too. There's 16 people on this call. 2 of us have built this out. Are the 14 people that are gonna say, "Oh, that shit's nice," or "I can't do this," or "I can't do that." You're wrong. And at the same time, like I very strongly encourage you to build this out because you're building a media company. And Brad can attest to this too. People will reach out to you on stuff that's not even real estate related. They're going to reach out to you asking to be your friend. They're going to reach out to you saying, "Hey, listen, can you sponsor this?" They're going to say, "Hey, can you come to this event?" You will become a local celebrity. And my uncle Sharon Shrivasta says fame is the most effective business model, right? When you're building these things out, that's how I want you to think about it. I don't want you to become the loser that doesn't work. I don't want you to become the person that says that sounds nice but doesn't do anything about it. Brandon Blankenship with KW from Chicago had a 30-day posting event. There were 100 people on that challenge. 30% of the agent population quit after the first 5 days. That is your competition. Your competition fucking sucks. If you can just outlast them, you will win in this business. And it does not take long. It takes you 6 weeks. It took me 6 weeks to get 10,000 followers, and you can do the exact same thing. The question isn't whether you want followers. The question isn't whether you want to garner attention. It's whether you're willing to do this for your family or not. That is the bottom line. And I really pray to God that every single one of us here can answer unequivocally yes.
Love it, man. No, that's facts, man. That's facts. We got time for maybe one more question, y'all. Really appreciate this, man. I really appreciate this. Gagan, how can
Yeah, I
folks...
got a quick question.
Go ahead.
So this is Sagoon. I don't know if I missed this in the meeting, but in terms of like the hashtags and everything like that,
They don't matter.
something that like I struggle when posting itself. Like, how do you formulate the right hashtags and the certain amount of hashtags that you put. How much is too much and how much is, less amount of hashtags?
I'm going to answer your question by diverting that question into a secondary answer. Okay. The only three things that you need to worry about with a post are your images, your video, and your words. I don't want you to worry about anything else. Don't worry about hashtags. Don't worry about making the caption perfect. Just worry about having the best storytelling aspect to your post. That's the only thing that matters, right? I use hashtags. I use ChatGPT to give me out like 5 or 6 of them. I don't even know how many hashtags.
Same. Yeah.
Right? Captions really don't matter that much unless you're storytelling from the still image into the caption. So your caption matters when you're talking and saying, hey, listen, if you want more details, look in the captions below. That's when your captions matter because your AVD or your average view duration will go up a little bit higher. Got it?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Where can we, what's up? Where can we send a request for Envato and to work with your team? So the page is called GGT Leads on Instagram. Just follow that page and then either myself or one of my VAs will watch and we'll answer back. So Gagan Leads, GAG right here.
4462.
What's up?
Shanta, you're unmuted. Shante, I'm sorry, you're unmuted.
Yeah, I just ask me how I got so handsome. I work out, take care of my body. I eat right. So
I love it, man. All right, y'all. Well, listen, Gun has to drop off here. For those watching on YouTube, if you want to have a conversation with what alignment here at Real looks like with Gagan and myself, please click the link in the first pinned comment. To those that were on this call, what are some of your main takeaways? Drop that in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going. And until the next monthly mastermind, again, these are all absolutely free. No obligation to do anything, but the action is the only cost that you pay. So get after it, as Gagan mentioned, and I want you all to enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.
yes.